What's up, my Blazing Knights? It's me, Blazeix, and welcome back to Blazeix Reacts. Today, we're gonna be reacting to Dragon Ball and DC, alternate versions of Vegeta and Krypton, and beyond. Yes, we're getting back to the and beyond series, and I am actually excited, considering that this title goes into both Vegeta and Krypton. This should be relatively interesting to see what kind of take they have it. I know they're most likely going to stay true to the original telling of both Krypton and Vegeta, but it's going to be interesting to see. So without further ado, let's get into the reaction. Want to go check out the InkTank's channel? The link will be down below. Want to go check out the original video stuff above? I encourage you to check it out. Let's jump right in. Without further ado, Blazeix Reacts. Let's blaze in action. InkTank.
Good evening. I am the RRA Info Retrieval Droid Model 337-0, but you can call me Zero.
Zero?
To assist Dr. Gero's investigation for Project Cell, I will be visiting a universe rumored to house a living planet Vegeta that was never destroyed, unlike our own. Studying the differences between the history we know and how this alternative version developed a noticeably different society may be the key to Project Cell's success. Readings indicate another decimated planet, Krypton, is confirmed to still thrive in this dimension as well. And because of the coincidental nature, I believe there may be a connection between the two, but there's still more information needed. So
it's so funny that both Vegeta and Krypton were blown up, considering Krypton came first and then
at all times, and please don't
DBZ.
stare directly at their sun. Just because it's red doesn't mean you won't go blind.
It's so funny how Vegeta's got their planet blown up by Frieza, and then obviously Krypton blew up first. You get the idea. It's funny that both their planets blew up. It's funny and weird.
Krypton, a shining industrial metropolis planet, as well as the closest planet of its system to the red sun. On its surface is covered by very dense connecting clusters of highly advanced militaristic cities. These cities make up a total of 89% of the planet's surface. The other 19% is made up of ore-enriched caverns and cave systems known as the Darklands. These dark areas are constantly shrinking due to industrial development. The more cities built, the more ore and area they require, putting the Darklands between some rocks and a hard place, and its remaining resident species at risk of extinction. So to start our exploration today, let's shed some light on the Darklands. Scattered throughout the sea of crystalline structures and advanced tech, we find the undeveloped and undisturbed side of Krypton known as the Darklands. Varying in size, these pockets of unexplored terrain can typically be found either underground or unnoticed in the shadows between city sections. These areas are just going to be caves and caverns composed of stone and one-of-a-kind ore deposits known as kryptonite. Kryptonite is a concave crystalline gem, highly sought after for its unique ability to absorb solar energy. The over-harvesting of these gems is one of the reasons the Darklands decrease in size so rapidly. The other reason being its original residents, the Rajou. Rajou are bipedal creatures varying in size. They're composed of the same stone that makes up the Redlands
That's
terrain.
a crypto beast? Kryptonite beast?
Kryptonians, residing on the planet long before the current dominant species colonized centuries ago. Though their bodies are solid stone, their innards are composed of krypton gas compound that, when dispensed, will transform any material into solid kryptonite, ready for the Rajou's consumption.
Oh, that would be dope!
Kryptonite to replenish their
Obviously not dope for Superman, but imagine fighting that thing.
Starve and become nothing more than rocks in a cave. A terrible fate, but not worse than that of those who get captured during harvest. Because of their ability to create kryptonite, many are taken to processing plants to be forcibly overfed to rapidly produce gems for construction and development. Who are the ones responsible for this near extinction? To find out, let's head up to the cities, the home of the Kryptonians.
So the Kryptonians are the ones responsible.
Welcome to the Kryptonian metropolis, home to the Kryptonians. Bipedal hairless humanoid creatures standing between 6 and 7 feet, not native to the planet, Kryptonians are a nomad-type civilization that colonized the planet under instruction of a Galvan centuries ago. They possess a superintelligence that rivals that of their kind, and have made some amazing technological breakthroughs to show for it, including, but not limited to, the Autos, invented by Professor Otto of Krypton. These are some of the most advanced AI in both the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxies. Artificial black hole generators. Due to Krypton's immense gravitational pull and over-harvesting of materials, the planet's core would frequently become unstable, which could lead to full internal collapse. Now, with a contained black hole in its center, they regulate the gravitational pull to accommodate for the missing internal structure, keeping the planet stable. Phantom Zone projectors. Once Galvan figured out a way to the null void, Kryptonians saw it as a challenge.
Right, they did make that.
Galvan, they discovered another dimensional space they deemed the Phantom Zone. Genesis pools.
It definitely sounds similar to an all boy. I wonder if they got their information from the Phantom Zone.
Kryptonians started to practice artificial insemination, growing their young in these Genesis pools off of a genetic template. This has ended all natural reproduction on Krypton. All of these shining technological feats have earned Krypton a tech level of 18, which in most regards is amazingly prosperous. But in the case of Kryptonians, it is terrifying. Having no substantial physical attributes, Kryptonian society as a whole have always strove for power, and in finding it in their intellect have become a spiteful and pompous people. Facing invasions, natural disasters, and near-apocalyptic situations, Kryptonians have become a very hardened people, and are more than happy to prove so to all walks of life they cross. This non-remorseful attitude toward life was heavily influenced by the teachings of their first god, Rao. Rao previously led the Kryptonian hierarchy with an iron fist, commanding armies and setting law by what he deemed right and wrong. He was able to do this because of the super abilities he possessed. Flight, optic energy blasts, amazing speed, strength, invulnerability, lungs stronger than a millet Lagish, the list goes on.
Basically, he was Krypton God.
Never seen before. He took the governments and societal lead by force, no one being capable of stopping him. He acted
would you?
like a god, but that was far from the truth. In actuality, Rao was a member of one of the various failed Kryptonian colonies. Originally, Kryptonians attempted to establish homes on many other planets before settling on Krypton. Once Krypton was established, all communication to other colonies was cut as to focus on their own goals for the planet. Rao was angered by this and felt left behind. In an effort to migrate to Krypton, he stole a ship. Just arriving outside the planet's orbit, his ship was not authorized to pass and was attacked. This left Rao with no engines, drifting deep into space where he was picked up by the next system's orbit. This system contained a yellow sun, and over the course of 3 years drifting, absorbing sunlight, he gained his abilities, as well as a full head of hair.
And he was known as the first Superman.
Through analysis, we've discovered that because of their red sun-enriched environment and radiation resulting from it, the cells of a common Kryptonian are stunted in their development. Through the exposure to yellow sunlight, their cells become revitalized and unlock their full evolutionary potential. This
and their
explains
hair.
why the common people of Krypton lack super abilities, as well as hair. Did you know that solar radiation can cause alopecia? So really, any Kryptonian is capable of having these super abilities.
And hair.
Wanting to keep this truth from his fearful followers, Rao restricted all planetary travel, so no Kryptonian was ever capable of seeing a yellow sun. The only vessels permitted to leave or land on Krypton were the ones he allowed. He and his family line used this to create a false lineage of gods to rule over the planet. When a leader was finished with their duty, they would shoot their heir into the next star system to absorb yellow sunlight and then crown them upon their return. This has been continued all the way up to Krypton's current ruler, Zel. Despite the many restrictions, the people of Krypton still sought for knowledge of the universe. So, they created Eradicators, which are basically the same thing as myself, created to collect information. The main difference is that if a civilization is assessed to be a threat to Kryptonian hierarchy, they are promptly wiped out. But what happened to all those Kryptonian exploration colonies before they were forgotten to time? Let's take a ride and continue exploring.
Override mission. Blast off.
Bye. Oh, that's a kind of dope.
Target
Don't look in planet.
Self-destruct initiated. Have a nice day.
Too self-destructed?
Welcome to the peaceful planet Vegeta. The most lush planet in its system, on its surface appears to be a thriving garden of life covered in mountains, jungles, and widespread oceans.
Yeah, and we can tell it's not ruled by Frieza.
Teeming with dozens of thriving species, there are 3 with enough intelligence to call it home. The first is a native species known as Tuffle. Tuffle are bipedal humanoid radish creatures standing between 2 and 4 feet. What they lack in verbal communication, they more than make up for in intelligence. Crafting homes and farms, they use their chorokinesis to shape their environment at will. This not only allows them full control of crop production for trade, but also allows them to create architecture without...
So basically they're farmers.
They create homes built inside of the trunks of sensu trees.
Farmers,
They do this
hippies,
to
and
avoid the
everything
vicious
of the like.
herbivore predators of the planet. And because the sensu tree is a natural generator of the energy known as ki. Similar to mana, ki is a form of energy given off by all living things that when harnessed can be extremely useful.
Right, I keep
Used
forgetting
to
mana
revitalize
exists in
their
Ben
bodies
10.
while sleeping, merging their roots with the tree. Sensu trees are extremely difficult to keep thriving, especially when an entire civilization uses them as a charger. Lacking any natural metallic resources on the planet, Tuffle rely on their neighbors on the sister planet of Zakachog for trade resources.
Oh, like the dragon from... Which episode was that? Was it 7 or 6?
Centuries ago, on a distant stone-covered planet known as Sadala, lived a dwindling Kryptonian colony. In their short time there, they had exhausted all natural resources and were dying of starvation. Years passed, and with no assistance from the main colony, the people were at what they thought would be the last generation. But thankfully, they would see more. One day, a vessel landed on Sadala. The crew were a team of cartographers mapping out the system. These cartographers were a species known as dragons from the planet Zakachog. Dragons are quadrupedal reptiles standing between 25 and 30 feet. They are
Oh,
extremely
the throwback to
intelligent
this
people on a
alien.
journey
I wish
to
we saw him
map out the
again.
entire universe. Despite their intimidating demeanor and fire breath to match, they are extremely friendly and caring. Through pleading and convincing by the colony's leader, the dragons agreed to help them migrate to a new planet, but faced an overpopulation problem on their own planet, so they couldn't accommodate them there. So the dragons brought them to their neighboring planet, Planet Vegeta.
Interesting.
Over the centuries, the colonists not only recovered, but thrived and physically evolved on planet Vegeta, acquiring more animals
And now they grew
traits
tails.
that suit their environment. Bringing technologies with them, they worked with the Tuffle to create and sustain a peaceful society coexisting with each other. An example being using their crystalline living pods as solar panels for the sensu trees. With the dragons acting as translators and the Tuffle as mentors, the 3 species shared their knowledge, creating a bond of trust that extends across both planets. As the generations passed in this new yellow sun and ki-enriched environment, the colonists flourished more and more, becoming physically stronger, wiser, and spiritually in tune with the universe. They made peace with all life on their planet, and became a utopian society. By adapting the Tuffle's ki control techniques, they learned to not only control, but generate an amazing amount of ki energy. Because of the substantial evolution they went through, they became an entirely new species. This species is known as Saiyans. Saiyans are bipedal humanoid creatures standing between 5 and 7 feet. Some spend their days harvesting their gargantuan crops throughout planet Vegeta, while others follow the path of their reptilian saviors and travel to various planets and faraway systems, mapping out the universe. Owning their ki control, Saiyans meditate every day, allowing them to conjure their own ki to perform powerful techniques. Over many generations, Saiyans that have fully mastered ki control have developed a technique that supercharges every fiber of their being and unlocks their full evolutionary potential.
Oh!
A super powerful form that we will classify in our data logs as the sensu form. Every member of their race able to utilize this form, along with their planet-wide united support of all 3 species, they have protected the planet from many who challenge their peaceful ways. Where our universe's Saiyans failed to defend against the galactic dictator known as Frieza, which led to the planet's destruction, the cooperative forces of this universe's Saiyan population were able to hold their ground against the ruthless Brumarian warlord. When meditating, Saiyans must be very careful. With the immense amount of energy flowing through their bodies without their ki control, they can accidentally overcharge their still developing cells and burn out their bodies, rendering them powerless until they've recovered. To prevent such events, they have reverse-engineered and mass-produced these scouters for Frieza's army after their victory. These scouters are used to monitor the ki levels of those who are still learning to control it, so they don't overwhelm themselves. With peace among all creatures of the planet and a strong belief in preserving Mother Nature, Planet Vegeta has become a tropical paradise for the natives and become the talk of the Andromeda Galaxy. The citizens of Vegeta are very welcoming to tourists and are happy to
The way
share
they
the
draw
rich
the
lands and
Saiyans is
knowledge
so
of Master
interesting.
Yi with the many visitors that
It's that Ben Hey!
Kryptonians, dragons, and Tuffle. All extremely interesting species, but my mission was to collect data on the Saiyans of this universe. My hypothesis on a connection between Krypton and Vegeta was correct. Dr. Gero will be so pleased. Let's contact him now.
Zero, what do you want? I'm extremely occupied right now with my projects.
Sir, I found a living Saiyan civilization. It took a few hundred-dimensional jumps, but I found them. They reside in universe Anua 0001 and are a peaceful species that will create a multicultural civilization.
Peaceful? Those angry war-driven creatures? You have the wrong planet, you insectoid idiot! It seems advancing the AI of a tracker droid was useless. I'll need something more advanced. Cyborgs, maybe. Have to run that by Frap later.
Sir, I apologize. If you need me to run the data again, I could...
That will not be necessary, Zero. You have miscalculated for the last time.
I miscalculated?
Zero! Activate self-destruct!
Sir,
Bruh! What? You're about
Thank
to...
you so much for watching. Make sure to plunge back into the void again with me sometime and hunt down the Saiyans, wherever they may be. This is Zero, signing off.
Zero, no! My boy!
Good
Oh, hey,
evening,
horse.
Internet multi-dimensional... Oh, we must have already sent a unit here. Apologies. I'm off to the next planet. I'd better equip my thermal plating.
Where were you at the entire video? I can't wait to see that when they do it. I mean, I can read the comic anyways, but I'd rather see it on YouTube. It's interesting how they never talked about them being fight crazy maniacs and be similar from Kryptonians. Because that's pretty much what Saiyans are. They're basically just Kryptonians because that were more monkey-like features. It's like you mix the Kryptonians and you mix it with some Wukong, and that's basically what the Saiyans are. Adding ki, and that's basically the Saiyans. But this is interesting. Very interesting, and can't wait to see what next episode has in store for me. Anyways, I do hope y'all enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, add your favorite, so you want to see more Scorch Time videos from this channel. Subscribe. I make videos weekly or daily depending on my schedule. Have any requests or reactions whatsoever, leave a link to that video down below. Make sure it's something I'd be interested in, like Mario, Sonic, Ben 10, TMNT, or Pokemon, and I will definitely react to it. Our goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers, so help me reach that goal, and you will get a special video from yours truly. We're really almost close to 3,800 subscribers too. Like, not really close, but we have like 48 more subscribers to go. Let's see if we can get it before the end of the year. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy. Stay tuned for more videos, and remember, many hearts never apart. Live my Blazing Nights. Blazeix, blazing out! Until next time, take care.